Hey guys, this is the Straight Edge Monster, and you're about to watch the aftermath of the Royal Rumble and our thoughts. Um, if you want, you can follow us at Real MonsterCast on Twitter. You can also listen to our podcast on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and pretty much wherever at this point, but those are the major ones. You can also follow me on Twitch at SXE Monster, where this was actually streamed for the first time. It's being uploaded to YouTube now so that everybody else can enjoy it and see what we thought of the Royal Rumble from 2021. Enjoy.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Well,
go over our thoughts on the show. Was it worth me calling out? No, but hey, if I can not go to work, it's a great day. So, oh, by the way, so I was gonna continue my unlimited, never-ending fight forever GCW 3-on-3 match, um,
yeah.
but I forgot that I had unplugged the USB before I went, so the battery died on the portable SNES that I have, the Superboy.
Mm.
So I came back. I was like, why the fuck is there a blue screen? I was like, shit, that's right. I fucking unplugged the USB when it was fully charged. So now
You'll
I have
never
it.
know who won.
Now I have it fucking charged back up. So yeah. I mean, I was in the lead, so I'll take the victory. Um.
That's how it works. Time limit tech and shit. Um, yeah, where do you want to start?
Well, we can start from the beginning. Do you remember the order of the matches?
Yeah, there's the pre-show,
Let's do the pre-show.
Lacey
Or
Evans bullshit, and
yeah.
then they
Okay.
lost the
So
tag titles.
so here's the thing. Like, I wasn't shocked that they lost the titles. Um. I was just shocked that they lost the titles on the pre-show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was my thought too. I remember distinctly saying like, yeah, there's no way they dropped the titles on the pre-show, but here we are. I guess it kind of set up some of the Lacey stuff for later. I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid. And you don't have enough tag teams right now for them to defend it against to really. It's just so.
Why would they?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they drive it home and really have like Lacey or Rick come out and distract Charlotte at the end of the Rumble? Because like the whole setup, you automatically know that Charlotte's going to be in the final four after the end of that pre-show. The way
Right.
that they zoom in on her face and they talk about, oh, the only way she can redeem herself now is winning the Rumble and all this shit. Now you know she has no title to lean back on, so it's like, oh, by the way, I also got distracted by the documentary that's on right now with this guy Yokozuna,
Mm,
which I'm gonna have to go back and watch the rest of because it'll be over
yeah.
by the time I get in it. But yeah.
Probably.
Anyway,
It's one of the few things I can get my girlfriend to watch wrestling wise. She likes all the documentary stuff. We watched the Edge documentary a while ago. So when she just asked after it was over, I was like, okay, yeah, let's look. It's over. She's like, oh, who won? I was like, Edge. She's like, oh, good, I like him. So she doesn't watch wrestling, but she'll watch all the documentaries about wrestling.
um, I still have to watch the Bianca Belair one. I haven't watched that yet. But anyway, okay, so we go through that. And the first match on the main card was, um, Jesus Christ, I just lost it. Was Goldberg and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So Drew won,
I
and then
think we
of
both
course,
picked Drew, didn't we?
no, I picked Goldberg
Oh, I picked Drew.
because I didn't want Goldberg to win the fucking Royal Rumble. I wanted Big E to
Yeah.
win. All right, so mine was like, in my mind it was pretty much a definite, which it didn't end up happening, but in my mind it was a definite. If Goldberg didn't win one, he was going to win the other. And which one would I rather him win? Would I rather him beat one guy or 29 guys? And I was like, okay, well, I'll pick Goldberg to win that. Now, it didn't happen. It's fine. Then, of course, when it didn't happen, my heart sank because I was like, oh, fuck, Goldberg's going to win the Royal Rumble, which I definitely didn't want to happen. And nothing against, Goldberg. I mean, he's making his money. Good for you, guy. Like, you do it while you can. But with the way that Drew's been doing really good, like, I never thought Drew should have lost it to Orton, honestly. Like, I think Drew should have. This should still be his first run.
It still feels a lot to me like they didn't have anything else for him, and they wanted to put something on the card where they could be like, oh, it's like a big marquee match or whatever. But Orton was already they'd already played that whole thing out, and who else did they have? Like Rollins is out, so you don't really have any other big name people to put him against. I mean, because heel wise, I mean, unless you're gonna, Bobby Lashley's already U.S. champion. Uh, So really, what do? You got you don't have a lot of heels. You could do a face versus face, but who have they built up as a face who would even make sense? So that's the problem they have over
Holy
there.
shit.
Hmm.
I just threw Ric Flair out in the first. He just ran at me. I threw him out. Like, literally at the beginning of the fucking Royal Rumble. I've moved it up to 2 or 3 on the difficulty scale. Oh!
Clearly.
Fuck you, man. Oh, just did it again! Oh, I figured out how to do it now. I got the buttons down now. Oh, shit. Speaking of Yokozuna.
Should speed run this.
Yeah, no shit, right?
I wonder if, there's got to be a speed run for it. This is not relevant to what we're supposed to be talking about, but I'll look it up.
But it's related. Royal Rumble. Super Nintendo. Yokozuna documentary on right now on WWE Network. Okay, so the next match. Okay, so yeah, so the Goldberg thing. So I'm happy for Drew, obviously, but like when it happened, I was like, oh fuck, Goldberg's gonna come out at like 29 or 30 and win this fucking thing. So I was very nervous. Then we had the what was it, Carmella and Sasha?
51 seconds is the speed running record
For winning the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on level 10?
It doesn't say what level it is.
Okay, got you.
So,
Damn.
yeah, 51 seconds. It was set 4 years ago, and then the number 2 is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So it's a big fucking gap.
Holy shit. Okay.
Basically, I guess gotta get lucky and have everybody run at you immediately.
You know, I didn't even know what I was doing the first time I played because it's been so long, and I did 6 minutes. So I feel like I could probably get number 2.
Unless that game I
unless
used to
it has
play
to
all
be.
the time, Arcana.
Yes, I have it.
So the speed runs on that, they're like nobody really runs that game. So there's been a couple times I was like, shit, I should go and try to speed run that and get first on that probably if I played enough. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, Goldberg, I'm glad he didn't win. I didn't think he was gonna win. It didn't make sense for him to win. If he won, nobody wants to see Goldberg Reigns. I don't feel like that's like a big draw or anything.
Vince wants to see it.
So I never thought that he was gonna win the Rumble. And then as far as the title match, like I couldn't think of anybody who would win the Rumble and then be like, yeah, I want to face Goldberg, except for Big E. And I just, for whatever reason, with him already being
still
the
yeah,
champion,
same. Already the champ.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. So, I didn't really doubt that McIntyre was going to win. It's the right call. It wasn't the right match. I don't think there was really any point to it, unless their whole thing is just to be able to point to McIntyre and point out like what an accomplished champion he is for having beaten all these people, like beat Lesnar and beat Goldberg.
Yeah, I guess,
like,
but the whole
building
storyline
credibility.
didn't really make sense though, because the whole storyline was based off of he didn't respect legends. Like Drew McIntyre definitely respects legends, dude. Like, did you think he was fucking Randy Orton or something? Like, I don't understand.
That's not what I interpreted the respect thing as. When he said you don't have respect, I thought that he was saying that you don't have the respect of other people, not that you don't have respect for old people.
No,
That's the way I
oh,
heard
I
that.
just lost. But fucking, he literally said in the promo, the first promo back, that you don't respect the legends. He literally said the word the legends.
For some reason, I was interpreting that as you don't have the respect.
Oh, I can watch the rest. Okay, cool.
But whatever.
Good luck to you guys.
What? Oh yeah, when you get out the rest of the CPU. Yeah, I mean, I don't. The problem is I don't really know what they do with him from here without having Miz come out and like take the belt. They're not gonna have Miz cash in on Reigns. That'd be fucking dumb. So they're gonna definitely do it on Drew at some point. I just don't know the context in which that's going to happen. Okay, so next match.
Sasha and Carmella.
Sasha and Carmella. I thought their other match was better. I didn't hate this one, but their other match was definitely better. I think we both picked Sasha on that too anyway, so whatever. Next match. Reigns and Owens.
It was better than I thought it was gonna be until the end, and then the end was like, oh well, that makes sense. That's WWE for you.
Yeah, the whole.
First, the ref doesn't count past 6. Number 2, the handcuff fucking thing is so overdone in WWE, it's ridiculous.
So are fucking low blows, dude. I get so tired of seeing low blows on everything.
So you're telling me that we couldn't count past 6 to wait for Paul Heyman to try to figure out how to open up these fucking handcuffs, which he was clearly having trouble doing. But then Reigns somehow still stood up on both of his feet while he was still handcuffed anyway, so it didn't really even matter. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why
That was
didn't you just do
completely a
that?
pointless spot. The whole
Yeah.
spot was pointless when you see Roman stand up on 1 foot, then 2 feet. And then the commentators try to fucking sell it like, oh, he's on 1 foot, I guess that counts. Right? What? What? What are you talking about that counts? No, that's never
No,
counted.
it's
It's,
standing, not
yes.
kneeling.
So they were just trying to protect Reigns in that spot because, you know, Vince told the refs to shoot, which they had to shoot on the Women's Royal Rumble later when Peyton Royce got thrown out because I'm pretty sure she was supposed to land on the apron first, but she didn't make it.
Yeah, and somebody missed their spot for Brooks' elbow too. I don't know who.
I'm pretty sure it was Peyton Royce actually, but
Mm.
um,
It was still fine. Like I've seen worse rumbles for sure, especially when women are involved. Like they're clearly a lot better than they used to be. A lot more fluid and competent. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot of like shitty like botches or weird spots in it. It's cool to see Victoria back.
she's not back, but it was cool to see her back for that
You know,
one-off. Yes.
you know what I mean. Oh yeah, but the Reigns Owens shit. Like I already figured Owens wasn't winning. I think we also both picked Reigns. I just the low blow shit is so overdone. Like, it killed the AJ Nakamura feud. Like it cheapened the shit out of the Lesnar Undertaker stuff. Like I get tired of seeing it. It's so dumb. Like oh yeah, like you can get power bomb through a table and like thrown off the stage and all this other shit, but you know getting hit in the nuts, you're knocked out. Come the fuck on, man. It's silly. Like same thing. Like not there. Obviously there was more to that spot, but I mean specifically with like the Lesnar and Undertaker stuff. Just way overdone, and they need to stop. It doesn't make anybody look good. So, just looks like a crappy cop out for your inability to book anything more interesting. Women's Rumble, since we already kind of talked about it, I was hoping Sonya Deville would be in it, but she wasn't. I completely forgot about Alexa Bliss, but that's probably a good thing because I might have picked her to win, and then, you know, that whole super cool spot.
At least she was in it.
Yeah, and immediately
Crush just
out.
won the fuck. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Bro, Crush is a Hall of Famer. I don't think he is actually, is he?
No, he's not. He only got 2 eliminations too. That's bullshit.
Yeah, fucking leech. Speaking of not getting any eliminations, I saw Matt Riddle start fights with literally everybody in that Rumble and didn't get a single elimination. And every little like standoff, scuffle, skirmish he had with anybody, he lost. Like it's, you were saying, I know we were texting. You were like, "Oh, somebody must like him for him to have been in that long." But I didn't think he looked any better coming out of this, no matter how long he was in there.
I think he looked better than what he's been fucking booked on Raw as. Yes, for sure. He's been booked as a fucking goof on Raw,
He was
losing a
booked as
fucking.
goof in this match.
No, he didn't. He was not
Bro.
booked as a fucking goof. The dude fucking was going toe to toe with fucking Lashley. Went toe to toe with Daniel Bryan fucking 2 or 3 times.
Lost all of them. Lost
It don't
every one of those
matter.
exchanges.
It's better
And
than
then-
fucking getting stomped on his foot in the fucking backstage segment to fucking Bobby Lashley and then losing in a minute 40 seconds on
And
Raw.
then goes up to Edge and Christian while they're fucking hanging out and being cool and trying to like fit in and gets beat up by them too. Like he'd still look like a goof in this match.
He didn't look like a goof.
He did
You
to me.
clearly don't watch Raw because he's a fucking goof on Raw.
I watch Raw every week.
Well, clearly not. If you think
He's
he
a-
looks more like if you think he looked the
He
same
looks
in that
exactly
fucking
the
Royal
same.
Rumble
He
match
looks
as he
exactly
does
the
on
same.
Raw, then you don't watch Raw.
Getting a little bit of offense in a 30-man match don't mean shit.
He got in a lot more than a little bit of offense. By the way, since we're talking about people that didn't fucking make the Royal Rumble, where the fuck was Aleister Black at?
Oh, at home with his wife who got fired for, daring to want to make a little bit more.
Like, part of me thought he was going to come out when Corey Graves said 2 of the best strikers in the game going at it when it was Riddle and Shinsuke, and then I was like, oh yeah, next is going to be Aleister, and then they're all 3 going to fucking just start lighting each other up, but that didn't happen, obviously.
Yeah,
So sweet.
I mean, as soon as Rollins came out, like I was already looking at the list the whole time, and I was counting how many spots from the announced people and unannounced people, blah blah blah. So
What is up with WWE's fucking this idea where the number 30 spot has to be like the biggest dude you have, knowing damn well he ain't ever gonna win? You know how many times Big Show's come out at 30?
Dude, Rey Mysterio has come out at 30 before. Like that's not a thing.
I didn't say it was every fuck. You think it was gonna be every fucking 34 Royal Rumbles?
They
That's
got
not
a
what I'm talking
bunch of
about.
big ass people, dude. Like, of course.
You were
somebody
saving
comes
the
out
biggest
to
dude
be
in the
big.
fucking Rumble to be fucking 30 like all the time. It's fucking annoying.
But
It doesn't help. It doesn't help when What is the point of having this big dude be the favorite of a Royal Rumble like Andre the Giant, but you're going to have him come out at 30 and still lose? He has the advantage and he's the biggest dude? Come on, man. Somebody's got to fucking win one of these things.
Strategy.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Yes.
Don't talk to me about fucking strategy when literally
Teams
everyone
up
that
and
teamed up with each other turned on each other fucking 2 seconds later. It was so annoying. Every fucking 30 seconds. Every time.
Edge and Christian never turned on each other. The New
They
Day
didn't
never
have to.
turned on each other. That might be it. Hardy and Edge didn't turn on each other.
Man, shut the fuck up. Hardy wasn't even in the fucking match.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't even he was in the fucking match for 2 minutes. He didn't even fucking fight Edge.
I know they never turned on each other.
Shut the fuck up, dude. That's stupid
He
as
helped
fuck.
him.
That's like fucking saying Braun Strowman never turned on fucking Randy Orton. Shut up.
He helped him when he first came in. They
No,
were
he
in at
didn't.
the same time.
No, they weren't.
Strowman and Orton were never in the ring at the same time.
That's my point.
Hardy and Edge were in the ring at the same time.
They didn't even fucking touch each other.
Edge was getting fucking ganged up on by everybody who was already in. Hardy ran in and started beating up on the people who were beating up on Edge.
That's not teaming up. Do you know what fucking team up means?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I do, and that's not fucking teaming up.
Helping somebody is teaming
He
up.
literally
man.
fighting other people. He probably didn't fucking know
they
Edge
didn't
was
do
on
a
the
two-man suplex,
other
so
side of
they
the fucking
worked
pile. That makes no sense.
I didn't. Morrison and Miz never fucking turn on each other. That might have been it. That's still 3.
3 out of the women and the men. Because the women did it a lot too.
Well, yeah, they're in it for themselves, bro. What do you expect? Yeah. Well, the women was even worse because there were so many instances there where it would have made a lot more sense to just the booking on these things is so dumb sometimes for a couple reasons. One, when you make those alliances, it makes way more sense to stick together and get out the threats, and nobody ever fucking does it correctly. But then also when they do it correctly, like you remember that one Rumble where Kane and Big Show were kind of like working together and like getting everybody out because they were on that in the same team or whatever. That was boring as shit. I hated that. So maybe it's better that they turn on each other. I realized as I was waiting for the match to start that I have 2 very different types of anticipation depending on whether or not I'm watching an AEW pay-per-view or a WWE pay-per-view. And the difference in the type of anticipation is AEW, I'm like anticipating seeing what they do and like wondering if it'll be better than what I've thought or like what direction they go with the story or whatever. And the anticipation I have before watching a WWE show is always, I wonder how they're going to fuck this up. And it's 2 very different types of like drive or motivation to watch a show. And that's not a good selling point for your product is when people that like keep up with it are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this and see how badly they botch very simple booking. The other thing that really stood out to me is that they had no continuity, explanation, fucking even reference to, mention of, like nothing about the fact that Orton comes out, is in first man in the fucking match with Edge, 0 face injury from his burn that required a goddamn burn mask 1 week ago.
Quick healing shit.
What happened? They didn't say shit about it.
Quick
they
healing.
completely dropped it.
It was magic.
Absolute fucking nonsense, dude. How do you drop a storyline that fast, that noticeably?
It was magic. It was a magic mask that he put on, like Jim Carrey's, and cured him, healed him up.
Absolutely fucking dumb. The worst. Like the announcers didn't even mention it. So stupid. Those were the 2 things that stuck out to me the most. I don't mind Edge winning. I guess he goes for Reigns rather. That makes the most sense to me. Because face versus face with him and McIntyre doesn't really make sense. And unless they completely flush us down the goddamn toilet and have Miz take the belt off of McIntyre with the briefcase, and then it's Edge versus Miz, which was, I can't think of a worse possible match for WrestleMania.
All right,
Edge.
all right. Let me vent for a little bit because the whole you're already starting to see people get into their feelings about Edge winning this fucking thing, which I don't have a problem with, obviously, because I've always been a big proponent of wrestling is not real, so it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still win matches. But here's the thing that I don't understand with the Edge hate. Okay, the whole this whole notion of the Royal Rumble should be built to build new stars is fucking asinine.
No,
All right.
like if that was true, you wouldn't have Stone Cold Steve Austin win it 3 fucking times.
Thank you.
Did
Did Austin need all 3 Royal Rumble wins to be made? Did Hogan need both of his?
Yeah,
Hogan didn't need his.
Flair in '92.
Flair in '92. Did you think he needed to fucking win that Royal Rumble and be champion to get over? Come on, man. You can make. You can make
win in like 2007.
Yeah, he fucking he won in 2007 against I think it was him and Shawn Michaels were the first 2 and the final 2, and then he went on to beat Batista at fucking WrestleMania. Did anybody bitch about Undertaker fucking being old as shit and winning that? Not only winning the Royal Rumble, but beating Batista, who was a young guy at the time. No,
young 45-year-old dead man, the rub.
So I don't want to hear. You can make young stars in a Rumble, like they made Damian Priest last night or tonight rather. Well, it will be last night soon on the East Coast.
Miz and Morrison and Kane. Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, you made Damian Priest. You made young stars. You made Bianca Belair. You made a lot of people last night. You don't have to make the entire fucking roster just because they're young. That doesn't mean they deserve to be made just because they're young. That's not how this works. It's never worked like that, and it's not going to work like that. That's your opinion on what the Royal Rumble should be used for, and not the actual reason the Royal Rumble is there. So I don't want to hear that dumb shit. The King of the Ring is where you fucking use that to catapult new and young stars. And you know how that worked? They don't even fucking do the King of the Ring anymore. That's how well that works.
What struck me, and especially people complaining about that, is it is correct to say that there are times when an older guy goes over and it doesn't make sense versus putting the younger guy over. But in this case, there was nobody that obviously should have won.
No, that's why there was so many fucking people answering different things about who should have won the Royal Rumble, or who they thought was going to win, rather. Like, it wasn't like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, well, actually, it might have been more than that now, but when everybody thought Daniel Bryan should win it, and then Batista won. That's different.
Or even when...
Literally, everybody was on the same page about that.
And also when Triple H won, and it was clearly Dean Ambrose's time.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good argument against, like, hey, the older guy didn't need to go over there, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Royal Rumble should be used for that.
Yeah.
It's just, in the context of that time, it would have made way more sense to put the younger guy over. So, Triple H didn't, like, what did Triple H get out of that?
Yeah. So when Vince McMahon won, did he need to win that Royal Rumble?
Yeah, well,
when he threw out Austin?
Yeah,
he needed that.
He had to build credibility as a young superstar.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about the Royal Rumble should be made. The winners have to be young stars to make them for wrestling. No, that's not how it works, dude. It's never worked like that. That's got to be one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard in my life. So think about all the people that have been in the main events of WrestleMania. How you keep seeing the same names over and over because they're always over. You think You think the fucking Royal Rumble's been won by the same 4 fucking people every year? No. You can make stars without them having to win the fucking Royal Rumble.
And Edge is, I think...
By the way, you don't even have to fucking... Okay, so when Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble, by the way, he was old as fuck when he won the Royal Rumble because he was already old when he came over. So Shinsuke, who was already a made star in Japan, was fucking super over in NXT. He wins the Royal Rumble. What did that do for him?
Well, I mean, he did end up in that program with AJ, which should have been good, but wasn't because of the low blow shit.
But what did it do for him? Nothing as far as WWE goes. That's my point. Just because you win the Royal Rumble doesn't mean you're fucking made.
Yeah.
We could go back and look at, like, everybody always makes fun of, like, Billy Gunn or King Mabel for winning the King of the Ring because nothing ever really came of it. You can say the same thing about some Royal Rumble guys. You can say the same thing about some fucking world champions like a Jack Swagger or Miz's one run that he's still hanging on to at fucking 10 years later. Like, you're not always just going to be made just because you were handed something because you were young. That makes no sense. In fact, Drew McIntyre's entire fucking WWE storyline is based off of this concept right here, where he was the fucking chosen one, couldn't get it done, got put into a comedy fucking angle with 3MB, got released, went and remade himself on the Indies and in Impact, came back and won the fucking world title after winning the Royal Rumble. Did he get it when he was the fucking chosen one? No! That's not how it works. You don't get fucking accolades in WWE because you're young. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of hearing that shit. It's so annoying. And that's not just with Royal Rumble or with King of the Ring. It's with everything, dude. It's like, dude, if fucking Edge is over, and he is over, if they fucking choose him to win the fucking title at Mania, then guess what? Get over it. He deserves it. The dude never lost the fucking title. He busted his ass to get back after how many years? 7, 9, something like that? 9 years?
Something like that.
7 to 9 years out of it. Comes back, and you're going to tell me he doesn't deserve the shit? And you clearly see this motherfucker breaking down when he comes back, knowing for a fucking fact that he loves this shit? And you want to give it to some young dude that you don't even fucking know if he can even do his entire moveset correctly, like Mace, for instance. So, like, Mace should have won the Royal Rumble? Is
Mace
that what you're
shoulda
telling
won
me?
the Royal Rumble,
Like,
bro.
what the fuck, dude? That I can't
Ali-
stand this stupid argument.
Like, if Ali won, I wouldn't be upset.
I can't, man. I was kind of mad when Ali came in at 4th.
Yeah, I wanted to see him do a lot more. They gave him a lot, as far as, being in there for a while. But yeah, I didn't. I thought this was a good chance for Ricochet to kind of redeem himself too, and they didn't really take advantage of that either. So that kind of sucks.
You know what was my favorite spot that didn't happen? Was the Naomi Bianca Belair cartwheel pile driver. I really wanted Naomi to hit her with a pile driver when they were going through that cartwheel. I thought it would have been one of the coolest Rumble moments, probably of all time.
They're
Definitely.
not allowed
Huh?
They're not allowed to do pile drivers.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know why it didn't happen. Hell, even a fucking face-planted, like, neutralizer thing would have been cool.
Or powerbomb.
Yeah, I don't know if powerbomb would have been cool. I just wanted to see the pile driver because that's the position they were already in. So it would have been just like, fuck this. I'm not gonna keep fucking twirling around. I'm just gonna drop you on your fucking head. That would have been awesome. By the way, speaking of things that are not allowed, how many fucking hard ass fucking eliminations did Rhea Ripley have on people? I can't do a fucking power driver to Bianca Belair, but I can slam Dakota Kai and fucking Dana Brooke on their fucking backs on the fucking apron.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well,
That's fucking way worse.
When Dana took that one spot, I was like, damn, man, she goes out there and takes like whatever bullshit they tell her to take, and still just does not get the recognition or respect that she deserves for the work that she's put in and like what she's always willing to go out there and do to put over other people. It's kind of frustrating. Just I'd like to see them do more.
Speaking of shit that shouldn't be allowed, Carmella doing another suicide dive before she fucking leaders herself.
Yeah. She's
like,
got,
what the fuck was that
I won't
about?
say she hasn't gotten better, but damn, was that noticeable? Should not.
So I can't do a power driver to Bianca Belair with Naomi, who's a veteran at this stage.
But
fucking Carmella, we trust Carmella to go and do a suicide fucking dive though. Okay, whatever, man.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's not allowed. I'm not mad at you. I'm
died.
just saying it makes no sense. I'm hitting fucking my own partner. What the fuck is happening?
I'm pretty sure more people have died.
Oh, somebody's coming with the chair!
Then
Macho
they
Man!
have-
He's got the madness! He's got the madness! Okay. I came back in just in time. All right, go ahead. My bad. He came around with the chair, dude. You know he'll fucking use it.
I'm pretty sure more people have died from suicide dives than have from pile drivers.
Yeah. I mean, more people have probably been hurt from fucking pile drivers.
Well, dives I don't know. People get hurt on dives a lot.
I mean, fucking Lita was wearing a neck brace for a while after hers. Fucking, we all thought Undertaker was dead when he did it to Shawn Michaels that was over the top rope, but still, that was insane. But pile drivers, you of course got D'Lo and Draws, and you got Owen and Austin.
Those are the ones I can think of.
Well, those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure more have happened.
Except for like jobbers and shit.
Yeah, I mean jobbers. I mean you had the Rockers fucking paralyze that one dude or whatever. So I mean it happens. That's what I'm saying. Like it's unavoidable.
Died from dives though.
Yeah, I understand that. It's unavoidable. Injuries are unavoidable, so I don't understand what's the point of limiting one move like that's gonna solve all your problems.
And it's not even. I mean, you could always.
Samoa Joe's been out was how long from a fucking commercial spot? Come on, man. Like stopping a pile driver is not gonna do anything.
It does take a lot of like. I feel like there's people that you can, just based on the rest of their moveset, you can trust them to do a fucking pile driver. Like if somebody's like, okay, you got a match with Cesaro tonight, and he's gonna give you a pile driver. I'm like, all right, cool. I know Cesaro can fucking hold me up, and I can tuck my chin.
Okay, but
Like,
if
Cesaro
you're
has no
Bianca
problem
if you're
with
Bianca
slipping.
Belair and you're Fit Finley or whoever's running the women in the back now, you're in the back, and you're Bianca Belair, and Fit Finley says, okay, Naomi's gonna give you a pile driver tonight in the Rumble. You're skeptical of this? You don't trust Naomi?
No, I mean, yeah, that's the thing too. Naomi and Bianca are two of the strongest ones in that division.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no. I'm
There
just
are
saying.
people I wouldn't trust Carmella to do a fucking pile
Well,
driver.
no shit, she can't even do a suicide dive. But that's not the point. The point, I'm just saying, like in this situation alone, like this specific situation, I don't. That's why, like, if I say I wanted to see it, then of course I'm already thought about. Oh, can she have done it? I've already thought about that. Like, if it was somebody else and they did that same spot, but they're not as good as a wrestler as Naomi or Bianca Belair, then I wouldn't have said, oh yeah, I would have loved to see them do a pile driver because I don't want to see somebody get fucking seriously injured. But I know Naomi can do that fucking spot. There's no way she can't do that spot.
Yeah, she looked really good tonight too.
I know. I thought she was going to be one of the final two. We were talking about if it ended up with Bianca and Naomi after Bayley got eliminated because I had tweeted out that I wouldn't have minded HBK Bulldog situation with Bayley and Bianca starting it, or I mean Bayley and Naomi starting it and then ending it at the same time. I thought that would have been cool too. The women's match actually ended up way better than I thought it was going to be, and the men's match was not as good as I thought it was going to be. If that makes sense, it went completely backwards.
The men's match, like, it's not like I definitely don't have anything against Shane Helms, anything like that. Like the Hurricane stuff is always interesting and funny, I guess. But to have him come out and do the exact
same spots,
yep, spot,
from 2002, like we were talking about. Yep, he did the exact same ones.
Like, yeah, stop doing it.
Yep, and neither one works. So I mean, I don't understand. I didn't get it either. Really, there was nobody else in the back. Aleister Black wasn't back there. Mace Dijakovic, they weren't back there.
Yeah.
Although they might have been at the house because Mia Yim's at the house. So I don't know what the contact situation was with the COVID stuff. So I mean, they might not have been back there. You would assume, but you don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what does suck though is I have a feeling that this year was supposed to be Keith Lee's shit, because the Orton Edge thing and having Edge win the Rumble with no real clear storyline on who he would challenge, stuff like that. I feel like
do you feel like it would have been Lee versus Drew McIntyre, like PWG?
Yep.
And they would have got like what they were supposed to get, but at Mania. Yep. Instead of these bullshit 8-minute Raw matches that actually are pretty good for 8-minute Raw matches, but we all know that they can have, 5-star fucking Mania match. I agree with that. I think Keith Lee was probably supposed to win it as well. I mean, I don't want to make this a racial thing, but it's hard to ignore the fact that Asuka and fucking Shinsuke won the same year. And then this year, what we both think it was going to be Bianca, and then we thought it was going to be Keith Lee. Like they're trying to pander to certain groups of people because they've been getting a lot of shit for not pushing people of color overall in their history. God damn it! Come on, as world champions, I mean.
And there's definitely some pandering with the Indian showcase bullshit, like always. I don't think so much here.
Shit. Well, I'm saying if Lee would have won, though, I would have believed it a lot more. But we don't know what was going to happen. But yes, I am on the same page with you.
I think even if he won, I probably wouldn't.
I'm supposed to believe that they were okay with Lee winning the Royal Rumble and going to WrestleMania when 2 months ago Vince McMahon wanted him to go brush up on his skills.
Someone might have talked to him.
Who talked to him that he's actually going to listen to? Not Bruce Pritchard.
Heyman.
Bruce Pritchard is a fucking yes man. He don't listen to Heyman. If he listened to Heyman, Heyman would still be running Raw. As he should be, by the way.
Triple H.
Maybe Triple H. I could see that. It would have to be like a Triple H Stephanie team up, probably. Dude, I don't think people realize how stubborn Vince is, honestly.
Yeah, and we've said this before, and I certainly wish him the best of health and everything like that, and like I don't want to see him pass away anytime soon, so don't take it that way. But there is sort of this like subconscious notion that everyone kind of has. It's like if and when he ever does pass or let go of things because he feels like he's getting too old or whatever, I think everybody kind of understands that the product will improve at that point, and that's kind of fucked. Like you don't hope anything bad happens to him or anything, but really for the longevity of their company, he's got to get out of everybody else's way. A lot of people know better than him at this point when it comes to creative and when it comes to booking and when it comes to like continuity and storylines and like who's actually good, who deserves to get pushed, things like that. And he's got shit in his own head where he thinks that it's fucking hilarious to have the 24/7 shit come up in the middle of the women's match and like not have Aleister Black on the show at all and like all this other stuff. It's like, man, you're crazy out of touch at this point. So.
Yeah. So what did you think of the overall? Okay, so overall, for the male surprise appearances, we had Hurricane Helms and Christian, right?
Carlito,
yes. Oh yeah, Carlito was awesome. I was very pissed when he got thrown out.
Carlito been on that Puerto Rican
why the
horse meat diet.
I I fucking got super fucking mad when he didn't spit the apple in anybody's face, and then I remembered, yo, you had COVID.
Well, not only that, but Nakamura
like,
took it from him.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying why the spot. No, that's not happening. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, fucking COVID. Fuck, my bad. I was for sure. God, why are you running beside him, Michaels?
Look, without Jannetty, he doesn't know how to do a tag team.
Not this Michaels, he doesn't. It's like I'm selling for fucking Hogan at SummerSlam over here. Get back in, Brett. Get back in.
94. That wasn't even Painkillers Michaels yet, was it?
Who knows? It was definitely alcohol Michaels.
That's always been alcohol. I'm glad we didn't get any of those entries this year. Any of the Kevin Nash's or whatever. And again, I don't have anything against Kevin Nash or anything like that. I don't want it to take up a spot in the Rumble.
You got Hurricane in there.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But I really wish Christian would have been the one to eliminate Orton, though. I think it would have been a really cool, because we all know how good friends Edge and Christian are and how they went to the shows when they were little kids. You're telling me it wouldn't have been badass if Edge and Christian weren't the last two in the fucking Royal Rumble and they eliminated the one dude that's been giving them problems for like the last fucking who knows how many years. Even when the last time that they were wrestling before they both retired, they were both feuding with this guy. Like,
that's where I thought they were going with it too. I thought it was going to be
that would have been really cool. And then Edge being
last.
But then it's like one more thing that Edge can have over Christian too. So I don't know how I feel. Like I'd feel bad for Christian.
Well, Christian might have been like, I would have been also. I wouldn't normally like booking like this, but I would have been okay with them kind of having like a competitive sort of like back and forth, and then Christian like realizing that Edge is better and then leaving on his own. So that he can like win and get the title shot and all that shit. Like I would have been okay with that. They didn't have to have Edge beat the shit out of him and toss him out like fucking trash. Like I don't know. Rollins winning would have been interesting too, but is what it is. And that's only because I wanted to see Rollins Reigns. But I guess based on what I was seeing in the match, it looks like they're going to keep Rollins heel, even though. This version, I like heel Rollins. I don't like this heel Rollins. This whole gimmick and stupid Messiah shit. Like they got to get rid of it. It's not doing him any favors.
They should have. I was very shocked that he came out to that music and played the heel role. Honestly,
I was expecting his old music when he came out.
Well, as soon as the Messiah stuff came out, I pretty much knew he wasn't going to win. I mean, you think about the two. Like, we don't want to see him and Drew again, and we don't want to see heel versus heel. We were talking about on the show before the thing. Like, why would it make sense to have WrestleMania heel versus heel? So none of that made any sense. So as soon as he came out heel Messiah, I pretty much knew he wasn't going to win the Rumble. If he would have came out face, though, with the Burn It Down music, then maybe.
Yeah. The white Power Ranger suit.
Yeah, something cool.
Yeah.
But the other thing was about the men's Royal Rumble. Did you like the because we were talking about Big E earlier, did you like the way that he was portrayed in the Rumble before he got eliminated by the fucking bodyguard?
Oh, God, that bodyguard shit sucked.
He did it twice, dude.
I know. It would have made sense for Ray, but you didn't need it for Big E. And I get that it's like, Big E can't lose to somebody that's in the match because then it makes him look bad, and he's got to have somebody that's like way bigger than him to take him out or whatever. But like,
you call Dominic eliminating Baron Corbin, right? But I think it would have been cool to see if the dude was going to eliminate guys for AJ, to have Dominic eliminate Baron Corbin, and then have Dominic and Rey Mysterio go after Rey, and then they look like they're going to get him, and they're going to do like a double West Coast pop or some shit, and then the bodyguard just pulls them both down and eliminates both of them at the same time and saves AJ Styles' ass. If you're going to eliminate two dudes, it shouldn't have been one. Big E shouldn't have been one of them, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And Big E had other outs in that match too. You could have had Lashley and somebody else team up on him. You could have had Braun and another big dude throw him out, something like that. Like, it didn't have to go like that. It was kind of silly. I didn't like that. But I did like him throwing out Ali like immediately after Ali. Like, get the hell out of here! Just toss him.
Talking shit about Kofi, dude. Can't be talking shit about Kofi. I'm trying to think of what else happened so I don't forget anything.
It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't the greatest Rumble ever or anything like that, but it wasn't bad, I guess.
It was solid.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that's gonna be lost in the middle of the shuffles 20 years from now when you're talking about your favorite Royal Rumbles or whatever. Nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, that was my favorite. But,
I mean, I'm not trying to take away anything from Drew here, because, you know, Drew deserved his title win when he got it. I feel like if he didn't win that Rumble last year, that who knows if he would have ever got his moment. But if you're gonna pull the trigger on Edge, dude, last year was it. Not no fan Royal Rumble Edge. Does that make sense?
yeah, but I mean, A, they didn't know that there would be no fans. Like, there was no way to predict that. And then
Yes, I understand that.
And then B, like, to set up the Orton thing, you didn't want Edge to have a title shot because Orton wasn't the fucking champion. So I didn't mind it. I do think when somebody like that returns that high profile after that long and after that much uncertainty about his future for so long, that of course having him win is, you know, nobody's going to complain. But
apparently they do.
I think
but
McIntyre. Well, that was last year. I think McIntyre was a good choice.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, last year, honestly, as long as Lesnar didn't win, everybody was gonna be okay. It didn't matter who it was, to be real with you.
There was a point in that match though where I was just like, you know what, I'm fine with Lesnar winning.
Yeah. Oh no. I had turned to Christina on the couch during that Rumble, and I was like, dude, if he goes through and eliminates all fucking 29 dudes and
that's perfect.
Beats the record. Yeah, I know. It beats the record. No one can top that record. They can only tie it, right? And he'll always be the first one to do it. He won the Royal Rumble, which means he's going to WrestleMania. He gets the night off of WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he was already the champion.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, that shit would be so funny.
Yeah.
Just to see people's reaction. And then when Edge came out, I changed my mind.
Yeah. God,
I guess the only thing I didn't like about the Edge win tonight was he didn't need to win from number one. And if funny thing is, when he came out at number one instead of number two, like he was advertised, I had turned and I was like, dude, he might actually win this, because there's no reason for him to come out at number one other than the fact, oh, Edge won at number one. They're literally the exact same number. Yes, they're in the ring for when the bell rings, there's two dudes in the ring. So if you win from number one or number two, you're winning for the same amount of time. When you look back at it, it's like, I don't even know why they have a number two spot.
This one goes to 11.
Yeah. You can't just say one. It came in. They were one of the first two competitors in. Like, that's all you have to say. They were number one. Like, number one, and then number two. There's only.
Or you could just say it. They started the Rumble.
Yeah. They went from start to finish. You know, something like that. Yeah. They went the distance type deal. Yes, that's what you should say. You don't have to say number two is not less than number one.
Two? That's the real question.
That's a great question, actually. I don't know. I know Flair and Bianca won from 3, right? I know.
Dude, wouldn't it be fucked up if British Bulldog and Shawn Michaels was actually number 2 the whole time?
He might have been. No, was he number 2? Was he number 2?
I don't know, dude.
No, there is one where he won at number 1, but I can't remember what Rumble it was, because he won. I think he won 2 back to back as well, right? His 2 were back to back. He eliminated Diesel in one and eliminated British Bulldog in the other, but I can't remember what numbers he was. I don't think he was number 2 and then number 1. So I think in the Diesel one he came out later. I think he was number 1 and the British Bulldog was number 2. I'm pretty sure.
Shawn Michaels in 95.
What are we thinking?
I'm looking it up right now. So they do have him listed as number 1 for 95.
Okay,
You know what?
that was the British Bulldog one?
Crispin Waugh?
Crispin Waugh was number 1 or number 2?
I don't know, but they definitely wouldn't mention it as a.
Yeah. They're not gonna mention it. They'll mention the number, but not the person. I think he was. That's a great question. I don't know if he was number 1 or number 2. Hold on.
See, the wiki is so hard to know for sure though without rewatching it because they're gonna say number 1 if he won. Like there's a bias to say he won if he won it. Hold on. This is a deep investigation now. So.
Well, he was number 1. Benoit was number 1.
Did you watch the entrance to make sure?
No, he's number 1.
Number 1, we're considering the first person who comes out.
Right? I know, yeah, exactly.
Did Edge come out first?
Yes, he was scheduled to come out second. Then he came out first. And then that's when Michael Cole said, "Oh, Edge doesn't want to wait." And I was like, that's fucking shady as fuck. Because they've been advertising Orton as number 1 this whole week and Edge number 2.
So I guess since Chris Benoit doesn't exist, Edge is the second person. Rey Mysterio 2006.
Number 1 and number 2 entrants who won the Royal Rumble. Rey Mysterio entered the match at number 2.
Ah. Motherfucker.
Rey Mysterio.
Well, maybe that's why they don't. But they did say only three people had done it, right? So they do count that. But they're lying because he was number 2. Goddamn conspiracy.
Shawn Michaels was the first one to win at number 1. Chris Benoit was the second.
Yep.
Vince McMahon also entered at number 2 in the year that he won. Because it was Austin was first, McMahon was second. Do what?
Then why don't they count that? They count Rey Mysterio's. That's weird, right?
And I don't know when this fucking thing was published because they don't have the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match on here, which definitely they were the first 2 and the last 2. But I don't remember what year that was.
Okay, so yeah, 1995, 2004, 2021, the number 1 entries. But then number 2 entry won in 1999 and 2006. So that's the same fucking starting position.
Yes, I understand that. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
5 people. No, I know. I understand. I've been keeping up. But I'm saying, yeah, I don't know why they don't count that. That's silly as shit.
So what about the 2007 match? When did The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels come in?
Mm-hmm. Undertaker came in 30th.
Oh, did he? And Shawn Michaels was what, first?
Shawn Michaels was 23rd.
Is that the year that they were the last 2, though?
Yeah, because it says...
Undertaker eliminated him?
Mm-hmm.
I swear they were in the fucking match longer than that. Maybe it was the next year that they came out 1 and 2 and neither one won.
Order of elimination. It was Randy Orton, Edge, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker for the last four.
Randy Orton and Edge. Maybe they just switched it tonight because they didn't want them to come out the exact same two positions that they came out in that year.
Yes. Well, no, that was the final four. That's not the same position.
Oh, okay, got you.
The positions that year.
Well, I don't give a fuck about the final four.
Edge was 5th. Orton was 16th. So yeah, there have been 5, not 3, as they would have you believe.
By the way, that Royal Rumble with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at the end was probably my favorite until tonight with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. As far as the last two people in. Really liked when Rhea and Bianca were on the apron and Rhea like tried to calm her down, like, hey, let's get back in the ring and let's see who wins this straight up. Because of all the bullshit that had happened in up to that point in that Rumble where literally all the teammates were turning on each other. And then, of course, you saw it again in the men's. So she was like, you know what? Fucking chill out. We're not going to fucking, play this fucking flying trapeze artist shit on the apron. Let's get back in the ring and let's see who the fuck can win this shit. I thought that was really good. And then they fucking went at it, dude. They were hitting the shit out of each other in the women's matches, by the way. In the women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And the men's one kind of seemed weaker until, like, the Daniel Bryan's, Shinsuke's, Riddle's, Bobby Lashley, when he came in, he was fucking people up. For his little short, quick burst thing that he did, he was fucking people up, dude.
He dumped some people.
He fucking lifted Damian Priest up like he was nothing. It was pretty brutal. But yeah, I mean the women were
Otis.
Yes, Otis. Otis went full fucking Jeff Cobb Taz mode or some shit.
Strong as shit. It's such a shame he's a comedy character.
They had but like I said, the 2 apron spots with Rhea Ripley, the whole fucking ending with Ripley and Bianca. They had some crazy kicks too. Who was doing? Oh, by the way, in the men's match, they mentioned Damian Priest's like martial arts background. Have I been asleep during his NXT matches or something? Because they don't never say that shit on NXT. This motherfucker was kicking like he was fucking Aleister Black though.
Maybe when he first started.
It was weird. Like he was just kicking the shit out of everybody like he was Aleister Black. It was fucking weird. Like he was doing that same kicks like to the ribs and to the trunks of the legs and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Turning around and hitting him with the forearms and shit. It was. I mean, it was good. He was doing a good job. It was just it looked weird because I'm not used to seeing that.
I was definitely hoping for more Iconics interplay in the women's match.
Dude, I was hoping for fucking where the hell's Adam Cole? Where was Kyle O'Reilly or fucking? I mean, obviously I don't understand why we didn't get Finn Balor because if we see Finn Balor and we don't see Demon on WWE, then people are gonna be disappointed. But like Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, a Walter sighting, any of these would have been nice.
Adam Cole is suspended for putting over -1.
Oh, is he?
I don't know, but yeah.
Did you like the Brody Lee gear from New Day?
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And Kofi wearing it, even though he wasn't cleared to wrestle.
Yeah, he literally came there just so he could wear the shit. Yeah, that was pretty cool. When he first came into the picture, it's like, oh shit, I'm about to text Ryan, but then he had said that, and I was like, oh, never mind. Because I was like, oh fuck, dude, Kofi's in it.
They do need to have a Rumble one year where all 3 are in, and they just
no Shelton Benjamin, by the way.
Yeah, so yeah, they need to have a Rumble with them 3 left after they clear out everybody. And then they have like a proper triple threat like kind of match to see who wins.
Okay, so if you had to give the pay-per-view a grade overall, what would it be?
Out of what, like 5 stars?
Oh,
10,
I mean, you could grade it like A, B, C, D if you want. I don't really care how you do it.
I'm like a C. I mean, it wasn't anything special, man.
I'll give it a C plus. I give it a C plus. Because the Roman the Roman and Owens match was way better than at first I was like I don't fucking want to watch this. And then like I don't know, fucking 4 minutes in they had me hooked, and then they had me hooked all the way until the handcuff spot, and then I was like, no, I'm done. But that whole spot, like when he fucking swanton bombed him,
Yeah.
and he actually hit it because it looked like Reigns was gonna move. I was like, oh, Reigns is gonna move, but then he hit it, and I was like, oh fuck, he might actually win this. I thought he was gonna win right there. Um, but then they went on for like another fucking 8 to 10 minutes. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad match at all. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. So that was a plus. The women's rumble
It's
match was
still
really fucking good. The men's
the
wasn't bad. And what else did we have? The Carmella Sasha. I mean, it was what
yeah.
I
Sasha's match was
expected.
better.
It was what I expected. And then the first match was Goldberg and Drew, which was a dud. So C plus.
What Goldberg match isn't? So you had the title change on the pre-show that doesn't really make sense. You got Goldberg and Drew, which was fucking
I don't count the
doesn't
pre-show.
make sense. You had I thought the we talked a little bit about it already, but I thought the Kevin Owens and Reigns match, the reliance on the low blow shit just takes me completely out of the match. I don't care about the match anymore if that happens. It's such a bad cop out for like competent booking, and I hate when they do it. So that's whatever.
It really doesn't
Uh,
help when you see that exact same spot on how fucking uh, Rosenberg beats fucking R-Truth for the 24/7 title, by the way. Literally right before that match.
I don't know. I didn't like the 24/7 shit being in the women's rumble, but I did like the women's rumble. Other than that, I think there was some good entrants that I didn't expect to see, and they were actually capable of. It wasn't a hurricane spot. It was a they
No,
come
they
in
were
and
actually
they're
wrestling.
actually
Yeah.
credible
Even
and
Jillian
competent.
Hall, they actually let wrestle.
I know.
I was very shocked. By the way, Jillian Hall, congrats to you, because you sound exactly the same when you were singing. The exact same, dude.
It's not necessarily a good thing.
No, it wasn't. But it was good. It was a good thing for nostalgia reasons, no
Mm.
other reason. But yes, it was crazy. Like I was like, what the fuck? I thought it would have been hilarious if like Boogeyman came out and scared the shit out of her because of their whole storyline back in the day when he bit off her fucking face mole or whatever. But whatever. I mean, I was cool with them actually letting her do moves. Like I was very impressed that they let her to do it. I was very impressed with Victoria because she's older. She actually is retiring soon. She had the knee brace on and she was still doing all her stuff. When she went to go do her backflip, I was like, there ain't no way she can still do the backflip. And then she got nailed. I was like, yeah, I didn't think so. Because if she could do it, dude, she would have done it in that match. But
Yeah.
I don't know if she could have done it on that knee.
Yeah, but then
Who else came out?
the crazy thing is your knee is fucked up from years of wrestling, and then you still keep the widow's peak as your move. Come on, man, that's not helping. Land right on
Yeah,
it.
well, I mean, she did the Widow's Peak and I marked out, but it wasn't the the Widow's Peak we all
The good
know.
one.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was funny because Peyton Royce did her little version of the Widow's Peak right before, and then I knew she was gonna get fucking tagged. And then
Yep.
Peyton Royce is one of the lighter ones in the ring at the time, so I was like, yeah, Victoria can lift her ass up. It'll be over for her. Yeah, so there was no Trish, no Lita.
Tony Storm being there was cool.
Yeah, Tony Storm and Ember Moon being in there was pretty cool. Dakota Kai, you called that one. She was in there. And then Rhea Ripley was in there. So there was like 4 or 5 with Shotzi from NXT. So that was
I
pretty
didn't
cool.
like Shotzi going out first. That sucked.
Me either, dude. Shotzi went out before Jillian Hall, dude. Jillian Hall, I think, was the second one eliminated.
And well, she was in there before Jillian too, but still.
Yeah, she was number 3.
I was.
But like you waited for. But after Shotzi got eliminated, you filled the ring up with like fucking 5 other people before the next elimination. So you let Jillian Hall be in there for like 10 minutes, but Shotzi was in there for 2, maybe.
Chili Billy connection boy.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Billy Kay at the beginning was hilarious, dude.
Billy Kay is so good. She's so funny. Like I wish they would do more with her. I also I think that the lack of the Iconics callback stuff was a real waste of opportunity, considering they're not on the same shows and stuff anymore. Like they started that one spot, and then Billy Kay inexplicably is looking over at Ruby Riott.
No, she
like,
didn't
"Oh,
want
am
to
I
do the
allowed to
iconic.
do it?"
Yeah, no, she didn't want to do the iconic spot because she's been trying to get with the Riot Squad.
That's
That was the
dumb
whole
shit.
storyline. It made sense, but now it looked like when she got pushed in the back while Peyton Royce was like looking at her like trying to figure out why the fuck she wouldn't do the iconic thing. Like she doesn't watch SmackDown for some reason. Like you don't watch your best friend on SmackDown, but whatever. Anyway, so Billy Kay gets pushed into Ruby Riott. So now Ruby Riott thinks that Billy Kay hit her, and then they throw her out after she eliminates Jillian Hall after Jillian Hall turned on her. So it made sense storyline wise to continue that storyline. Now where they're going with the storyline is a whole nother fucking topic because I don't know where the fuck they're going with it, but at least they continued it.
They're not
At
treating
least
her
they
as
didn't act like it
incredible
didn't
wrestlers.
exist, like a fucking Randy Orton face burn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got to give
Yeah.
them that. At least they continued what the hell is going on in canon from the last fucking several weeks of your actual show, and didn't act like Royal Rumble was some standalone.
This man, he must have ate a sensu bean in the back or some shit,
Some
because apparently needing a burn mask for your charred face one week, you just come out looking completely normal the next week. This man, they need to put him in hospitals nationwide so that doctors can learn his amazing skin graft techniques, because goddamn, that was stupid,
Whatever doctor that was, I need to get a hold of him
right?
just in case something happens to me, dude. Because Jesus, he looks exactly the same, or it looks like nothing ever happened to him.
It's like he never got burned.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I mean, like a normal person would look like Freddy Krueger, but I guess he's good.
Well, he probably had the same doctor that Kane had.
Oh yes, where it just heals over time.
Yeah, it just heals over time. Just a lot faster time when you're Randy Orton.
Somehow you were a kid when it happened, and
Now, you know what it is? It's because he's a Viper. He just shed his burnt skin, and now he's got the clean, smooth Randy Orton skin.
Well, if you pay attention to the Kane thing on Austin's podcast thing, did you hear how he explained it?
It was supposed to be psychological.
Yes, yeah. Which is cool for Kane, but I mean, I wish somebody would have relayed that to us in some way.
They did.
Eh.
I didn't hear it on the Stone Cold podcast. I know that because that was the storyline.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was. I remember it.
When he was talking to JR and shit and setting JR on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that, because it wasn't like JR came out and said hey, what the fuck? Why does your face look normal? I mean, you still got the contact in your eyeball looking dumb.
Look, my psychological trauma is so bad that I have to put
yeah, exactly. I had to put this contact in my one eyeball.
I go to the CVS and buy saline solution for my contacts. It's just because I'm so psychologically scarred.
My saline solution lasts double the time because I only use it for one eye. What the fuck?
Oh, shit.
But yeah, okay, whatever. That's fine. Anyway, but the point is, Randy Orton really did get burned, motherfucker. That's the point.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I don't know. I gave it a C plus. You gave it a C. I mean, so
that's mostly just on the women's. The women's Rumble was pretty good.
Do we think that Edge is going after who then? We think he's going after Roman? I don't think he's going after Roman.
McIntyre doesn't make sense.
I think he's going after McIntyre though.
Why?
I just do.
Okay, but why?
I don't know, but I just do.
That doesn't make any sense. You gotta have a reason.
McIntyre's title is the title he never lost.
Or McIntyre doesn't respect legends.
If Edge just wants to fucking fight Drew McIntyre, then it doesn't have to make sense. He won the Royal Rumble. That's how it makes sense. That makes a lot more sense than fucking Bill Goldberg trying to tell somebody else that they don't respect somebody, by the way. But whatever.
I did like the spot with McIntyre hitting the spear, though.
Right at the beginning? Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck
There's
your
a lot of spears tonight, dude.
He fucked up that jackhammer, though.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
He let Drew's feet hit first. But whatever.
Could have been worse. He could have dropped him on his head.
Yeah. He could have. Oh, is that Ethan in chat? Yeah, it is. What's up, buddy?
It is his gut reasoning. What's up, E? I didn't even see him over there.
Yeah, I wasn't looking in chat. Yeah, dude. I had that Randy Orton burn shit is just killing me. So yeah, Edge. I do think it makes more sense for him to go after Reigns, because I think you could do a good program with Heyman coming out and trying to convince him like he's washed up and he's risking his life and like all this other stuff. I think that would play pretty well. Who knows?
Blah blah blah. So if he goes after Edge, who do we think goes after Roman? Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
If it's not The Rock,
sense.
obviously. But
Or
I don't
The
think
Rock
it'll be The Rock.
personally.
I think The Rock needs more time than that to build it up, because he can't make every fucking show.
The Rock needs 2 shows to build up a WrestleMania match.
You know how, dude, they use that's bullshit, because they used The Rock for 2 straight years for the same fucking match.
one to where he goes over Reigns, and one where Reigns goes over him, and that's the build. And then they wrestle at WrestleMania.
I think you need a little bit more than that for a family history storyline, but okay.
Yeah, but they can have Reigns and Heyman carry that whole thing without The Rock being there at all. That's the benefit of having Heyman involved at all in your company.
What they could do is fucking have Reigns come out on SmackDown and just be like, you know what? Especially on live on Fox, right? Because Fox is Fox. Like they get, or they're supposed to get huge numbers compared to USA. It's a fucking big. It's one of the big four. Is my point. You have Roman and Heyman come out there all cocky and shit because they're still champ after Royal Rumble, and then you say we're issuing an open challenge for WrestleMania. Anybody that think they can beat the head of the table, and then that's when the next week they come out again and they're like, we haven't had any offers. Is everybody too scared? Is Roman just gonna have the night off? And then that's when The Rock's music plays and he comes out. Then I guess you could build it off of that real quick. Because, when The Rock talks, it's going for fucking 12 to 20 minutes. Easy.
That's why he only needs 2 shows to build it, I'm telling you. And it doesn't have to be 2 shows like next week. It could be, March.
So, yeah, that could work, I guess.
I don't know what they do in the meantime, but yeah.
That could work. I can see that. But they got to do it. They got to get that shit done fast, because if not, we're going to get Daniel Bryan versus Roman, which I don't hate. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
if you're gonna build up a 2-night fucking event, you really think people are gonna be staying up for that long to see Daniel Bryan versus Roman?
Not if there's not a good story behind it and no reason to think that Daniel would win.
Yeah, exactly.
So, especially not when he's out there losing, TV matches to Cesaro and stuff, which I don't mind, but still.
Okay, so favorite match of the night was the Women's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, surprisingly. I think historically they haven't been great, but tonight's was pretty good.
Well, the first Women's Royal Rumble was pretty good. I like that one. The second one, I didn't really like that much. Is this the third or fourth that just happened?
I think it's the fourth. But one of them wasn't 30 people.
The first one was Asuka. Right? The first one was Asuka that won. She won the very first one. And the second one was...
First one was...
Well, last year was Charlotte. So who was the second one? Who won the second one? Becky? So it was Asuka, then Becky, then Charlotte?
Yeah, so there have been 4, yeah.
Including tonight.
So Asuka... That can't be right. Oh, okay. It wasn't. I was about to say. Asuka, Becky, yeah. And then...
And Charlotte.
And then Bianca. So yeah, it's 4.
Okay. So the first one was my favorite until last night. So last night is my new favorite Women's Rumble.
Okay.
And then, like you said, I agree with you that the men's one is probably going to get lost in the shuffle in a few years. Besides it just being, Edge's probably his last hurrah for the World Championship. This will probably be his last run, which is fine. And the funny thing is we were talking about how everybody's complaining about, you're supposed to put over new people. Who do you think fucking Edge is going to put over when he wins this title? When he drops it to somebody?
Triple H.
He'll drop it to a young dude. I promise.
Triple H.
He won't be dropping it. He won't be dropping it to Goldberg.
He might be dropping it to Orton.
I doubt it.
We're dropping it to young up-and-comer Christian.
Triple H ain't letting Orton beat his record, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
I know it's true. I know it is true.
Oh man, that's funny. Kenny Omega on Twitter.
Oh god, what'd he say? Canadians ruling the world?
Word of advice to all you weird WWE stans.
Does it say that for real?
If you're trying to piss me off, tweet something controversial about a video game I like. I don't care much about wrestling opinions. Those are yours. Have them. Apparently, people were messaging him talking about the golf cart spot.
Oh, okay.
And also talking about the Matt Riddle fucking ripcord knee. So he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, when I saw the golf cart spot, I immediately thought of AEW, obviously.
Yeah, but even before that, I feel like There was one in WWE like early 2000s. I want to say Kane, something like that. I don't know.
Well, that's fine, but I'm just saying it was
No,
done
just
too
says more
recently.
recent.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
I mean you did it on a bigger stage too. So like I feel like I'm pretty sure when I watched that replay that Roman got fucking hit in the face with that plexiglass too. By the way, I'm almost positive he got knocked in the fucking face and it pissed him off. Because I don't know if it was supposed to break like that or if Owens supposed. I think Owens was protecting himself, making sure he didn't get caught underneath that motherfucking thing, and he
Mm.
jumped up and then he broke that fucking plexiglass off and it hit Roman right in the face. So
The
that was
motherfucker's like
interesting.
290 pounds. What do you
Yeah,
think was gonna happen?
yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I immediately thought of Sammy Guevara getting hit. It's whatever.
He
I mean,
set it
it's not
off
a big deal.
the, as he calls them,
It was
weird
it
WWE
it
stance.
was all that's the funniest part of the tweet. It's almost like Roman and Owens were trying to do a one-on-one stadium stampede match.
Mm.
You think about all the spots they did. Remember the one-winged angel from Guevara to, or from Omega to Guevara down on that thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is that not reminiscent of what Owens did when he did the Swanton bomb on top of that big ass white thing, whatever the fuck that contraption was down there? That was pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, he wasn't as high up, but
Somebody,
there was spots in that match that reminded me of it for sure.
so his other tweet was, "Guys, I know they did it well, so props to all involved." And then somebody said, "If these responses are all about the golf cart thing, Jerry Lawler and Eddie Gilbert did it with the cart 35 years ago."
Yeah.
And he said, "There's no topping that one."
I mean, a lot of stuff has been done. But
Mm.
here's the thing, though: the same people that are talking about building new stars don't know anything about the old stars. You got the social media. If it didn't happen since 2013, then it's old. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not supposed to be required to go back and learn that. And you don't have to, but don't come over there and start talking shit to people that do know about this stuff, like they're doing to Kenny right now. Like that makes no sense. Like you think
Mm.
Kenny doesn't know about the history of wrestling, dude? I mean, I really don't understand social media sometimes with these guys. Oh, you're not building up new stars and all this stuff. How do you know how the fuck it works? Dude, you've been watching it for 4 years and you think you know how fucking wrestling works? It's fucking weird. I don't understand. That's the same people that just want to hate on shit just to hate on it. By the way,
Yeah.
don't do any kind of research or actually use the WWE network for its intended purpose, which is to go back and watch old stuff and learn new stuff, and you're supposed to use it like a fucking Netflix. Like, how many times do you need to see the same movie over and over? You don't have to. You've seen it, but you like it, right? So you could do this, or you use Netflix to go watch a new movie that you've never seen, whether it be old or new. That's what the WWE Network is for. Like, oh yeah, I've heard about this guy. He's really good. I'm gonna go check him out on WWE Network and see what the big fuss is about. And you go back and watch some shit, learn something.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
I
shit on
don't.
everything because you think you know everything and you've been watching it for 4 years. That makes no
I don't.
sense.
I don't think they have Eddie Gilbert in the Jerry Lawler car on it.
No, probably not. But I mean, it's not like you can go. The WWE Network search is so bad that it's not like you can go in and be like golf cart. Type in
You
golf
might be
cart.
able to.
Huh?
You might be able to.
I don't think so. Um, but yeah, it just annoys me when people do that kind of shit. It's very lazy, and you just want to argue just to argue. You want to try to bring everybody else down because you're pissed off about something that literally has nothing to do with what you're actually pissed off about, and you're just projecting it onto other people. It's fucking annoying, and it's most of wrestling Twitter. It's so annoying. That's why I'm really excited for Chris Hero's podcast. By the way, I don't know if you know, but he's teamed up with Conrad Thompson. He's got his own podcast coming out, and he's doing like this whole podcast is based off being positive and shit. So he's like looking at things from a positive standpoint and stuff instead of a negative one. So I'm like really interested in hearing that podcast. I saw like some clips or whatever from like their little trailer or whatever.
Mm.
If you want to feel good about wrestling again, I suggest you listen to Chris Hero's podcast. If you're not listening to ours, of course. And we bitch a lot too, honestly, but we have actual history and knowledge of the business as far as what's happened in the past. Um,
Uh,
whereas people
Unlike
bitching
that
on Twitter right
fucking
now.
clown Jim Cornette.
Yeah, Jim Cornette, dude. No, Jim Cornette knows about the past. He just doesn't know about the future. He doesn't know about the fucking present.
Mm.
Yes, Jim Cornette.
Mm.
My.
And I tell you, Brian, I just don't like the way these outlaw machos, they've been doing all these flips. Goddamn terrible. I used to have so much respect for Chris Jericho.
Fucking, you know what's funny about Jim Cornette is he reminds me of. It reminds me of like Michael Scott from The Office, where he just makes up his own words too. By the way, that they're not actual words. You know how Michael Scott. If anybody's ever watched The Office, dude,
Nobody I know. Never heard of him.
The Office, Michael Scott, he literally like in almost every episode he makes up a word or a phrase that is not what it is at all.
I mean, Ricky and Trailer Park Boys does that way more.
It is so funny, dude. Yeah, well, his is funnier though. But that's what Jim Cornette does that shit all the time too. It's fucking annoying. So on one hand, you're trying to sound smart, and the only thing that I agree with, as far as me and Cornette, is obviously the past presidential guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't agree with shit that Cornette says.
I mean, his political opinions are fine.
Yeah.
What sucks is his goddamn wrestling opinions.
Yeah, which is weird because he's a wrestling guy.
Well, I mean, he used to be.
Yeah, whatever. Well, yeah, I guess they keep giving him shots and he keeps failing. He's like the Josh Gordon of fucking wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that'll be the show for right now.
Yeah.
I liked both Twitch live things for this. Maybe we should do this for big ones. Maybe Revolution's coming up, and I'm off on there, so maybe we'll do it for Revolution. That'd be cool. I don't have an AEW game to play.
They're making that a Sunday one, aren't they?
I guess I could play Fire Pro. Do what?
They're making that a Sunday pay-per-view.
Did they? No, no. Why would they do that? They'll never do that. Don't do it to me, Revolution. No fucking way. Why?
That's what
I'm about to cry, dude. I'm gonna have to turn off the
note
stream.
on why AEW Revolution moved to a Sunday this year.
God damn it.
Hold on. First of all, the original date will feature a boxing pay-per-view with Canelo Alvarez versus Anil whatever. There isn't a huge crossover in audience, but there is enough that AEW decided to move. And Canelo is the biggest star in the box office right now. While they could have moved the show to March 6th, there will be a UFC pay-per-view that night with 3 title fights. Again, while there isn't a lot of crossover with AEW and UFC audiences, there is enough and more than boxing, especially with pay-per-view buys. There's also been talk that the NBA will run the All-Star game on March 7th, which would be head-to-head with Revolution. But at this time, AEW does not plan to change dates again.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And that's what, February what?
It's March, I think, isn't it?
Oh, they changed it to March?
Hold on. March 7th, yeah.
Okay, I can still put that in. Maybe I can get it off. Fuck, dude. I can't call out again. I just fucking called out. That was my first one, but still. Damn it. That sucks. I love Saturday pay-per-views. You bastards. Fucking. Hopefully they'll get big enough where, like WWE, where it won't matter. People have to move their dates around them. But yeah, I guess since that's the only way you can get people to order it, because you don't have a fucking $9.99 network or whatever, or $4.99 now.
I've paid for every one of them, man. It's never
I have to.
Crossed my mind not to, so you know.
I have to, but he understands that not everybody can do that, so it's whatever.
Well, Tony Khan and I are similar in that we got that fucking money, boy.
Yeah, speaking of getting that money, I had that money, but then I paid for Series 4 of his action figure line, so you're welcome, Tony Khan.
Just Tony and other billionaires like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About to hit up that Dodge coin right now.
Ugh, shut up with that shit. They already had to explain the fucking GameStop thing like 10 goddamn times last week to people that didn't get it. And then all these fucking big brains piling into Dogecoin the last few days. It's like, God, do not recognize a pump and dump when you fucking hear one, idiots. But whatever. And it's not like you can't make money on a pump and dump. You just have to get out early before everybody else dumps.
I mean, if you're buying it at 0.07 and it goes up to $1, don't you dump then?
You dump way before then.
You think so?
Oh, fucking absolutely, dude. If you're at like over 100% profit and you're not selling half your stake and then letting the rest run, you're a fucking idiot and you don't understand like conservative investment whatsoever. But then again, if you're buying Dogecoin, you don't understand conservative investment whatsoever. I I was looking at the taxes I got to pay on this shit though from the shit that I made last year, dude. I don't even want to look at it. It's so bad. It's like capital gains rate or not. It's not capital gains rate. It's income rate because I had all of the since I do options trading and stuff. It was all like considered a short-term trade, and a few of them were considered wash sales. So even the losses on those I can't take away from the total gains or whatever. I'm glad I've kept some aside to pay tax on that because it was legit like $130,000 income that I got to pay like regular income tax rate on. Fucking terrible. So fun times, and that's on top of already not getting a refund from my job or the. What has helped is that I do file zero whatever the fuck they call it, exemptions or allotments or whatever. I forget what the exact word is for my actual job and that income. So I've already been paying more than I should have in income tax by a little bit, but not enough to cover that shit. So fun times. I'm also selling my the property that I own beside my house, and so that'll be another amount of money that I'm gonna end up having to pay some kind of tax on next year too. So that'll be fun. Exciting times because it's gonna be considered an investment property, but since I've had it for 5 years, I don't think it'll be taxed too bad. Anyway,
All right.
forgot we were streaming for a minute. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started talking.
But anyway, yeah. So, by the way, I do have all my top fives of the week. I'll go over them next week. I do have them all. I spent today doing them, so I am caught up on that.
Shingo Tanahashi #1.
It was number one for this week for sure. It wasn't even really close, honestly. I don't have my phone on me; it's over there, so I can't really tell you the rest of them. But
if you haven't watched Royal Rumble yet, the only match you need to go watch is Shingo Tanahashi.
If you want to watch Royal Rumble, you can watch the Women's Royal Rumble. It was pretty good.
And maybe the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns match.
If I had to go back and watch them, dude, I'd watch the Men's Royal Rumble before I watched the Kevin Owens Roman Reigns match. That ending really fucking turned me off, dude.
I don't like that. Oh well.
Oh well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. As we were making fun of it because they're I guess that deserves something. It could have been worse, obviously. Clearly, they were listening to the fans with the Bianca Belair thing. So I mean, I can't hate on them for that, and I don't have a problem with Edge winning like a lot of other people do. So it's whatever.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. And like you said, we don't know if Edge would have won if Keith Lee would have been in there anyway. So
could have been King Corbin.
So maybe Edge does go after Roman, and then Keith Lee comes back from quarantine and he goes after Drew.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Drew's beating everybody on Raw, right? So.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. If they were going to have him win the Rumble to challenge Drew, they don't need to have him win the Rumble to challenge Drew if the winner of the Rumble ends up going for Reigns instead. You can still do the exact same storyline, and his, claim to the match at all doesn't have to be based on I won the Rumble. It can just be natural storyline progression. So it doesn't really change their WrestleMania booking, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It is going to be interesting to see where they go with Asuka, though.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have the title.
Because does Bianca go after... Well, she doesn't have the tag title. She still has the Raw
That's
title.
What I mean. Yeah.
But Bianca, does she go after Sasha or does she go after Asuka? She's face, right? I'm pretty sure she's face.
They're all over.
They're all three are face, exactly. That's my point. Like, where the hell does she go? I think she might as well just stay and go after Sasha. I think that would be a cool match.
I think Sasha, too, just because Asuka never talks about how she's the boss and the best and all that shit. But yeah. Sasha and Bianca both have that in common, so I could see that being like a point of contention between them.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Would be better. I think the promos would be better against each other as well. But I also believe like Sasha was clearly the face in the Bayley storyline eventually, but Sasha wasn't that far removed from being heel. And now, like if you watched her promo tonight, before she went out there against Carmella, she's like the Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Like you're the face, but then when you give a promo, you come off as a heel. It's really weird, or heelish anyway. Not full on heel. You're not calling people stupid idiots and shit like that. But you are your confidence is so strong that you're coming off cocky and like a heel. So I think that would work perfectly with the Bianca Belair thing, who literally refers to herself as the EST of everything. So I think it would be way better for them two to go against each other. And then I don't know what you really do with Asuka. I guess you go Charlotte, maybe Rhea. I don't fucking know because they both lost. Maybe Rhea versus Charlotte again in a rematch because that's who eliminated her, which I don't mind seeing as long as Rhea goes over. And then I still don't know what you do with Asuka though. Is the problem. That's the main problem.
Well, whoever wins that goes after Asuka, and then you have Flair finish out her Lacey thing because she doesn't win that.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see. Okay, so if you want your three women's matches at Mania to be Lacey versus Charlotte,
Non-title, right?
non-title, you have no title on the line. Asuka versus Rhea because Rhea beat Charlotte at whatever the next pay-per-view is, and then Sasha versus Bianca.
Bianca. Yeah,
Yeah, I could deal with that.
that's good.
Yeah, three solid female matches. It sucks that Bailey's not involved in anything though, but I really wish they would do Bailey versus Michael Cole at fucking WrestleMania. So that Michael Cole can lose at fucking WrestleMania so he can stop saying that he's undefeated. Because the long standing rivalry between Bailey and Michael Cole on SmackDown has been fucking hilarious. She even had Cole shaved into the back of her head tonight. That she was dedicating this Royal Rumble victory that never happened to Cole. And then she said that if she won, she was going to choose him instead of a champion to beat because she's already won all the championships. I thought that was pretty funny. Well, I would like to see that if you're gonna have a comedy match or whatever, I prefer it to be Bailey versus Cole over something other than that, like a fucking uh Santina Marella or whatever the fuck, whatever you're or even a 24/7 bullshit thing.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Bailey versus Michael Cole. That'd be funny.
It's nice that Alicia Fox
Just take
has
him out.
got another championship on her record.
Yeah, that's cool. It's funny because like sometimes you see these women and guys come back and it's like Christian tonight. You know Christian has been out forever with his concussion problems and all this other stuff, and he comes back. Edge comes back. Daniel Bryan came back.
So
Um,
that was the thing about the Christian too. They said that it was the first time he's been in a wrestling match in a WWE ring in so long. After the Edge shit, did he not have that match with Orton on
yeah,
television?
yeah, he had a match. He won the title. He didn't win a world title until Edge retired. He's the one that beat Orton for it.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about after Edge's
Oh,
comeback.
you're talking about that bullshit. That wasn't a match, dude. That wasn't really a match. That was just him getting that fake punted bullshit. That's all
I
that
don't
was.
remember
Yeah, that's all that was. That was not an actual match. He was in street clothes and shit.
that. Okay. Well, whatever. All right, cool.
All right, man.
C's all around.
C plus for me, but barely. Oh, barely, barely, barely. But hey, it like I said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So that's a plus. That's the plus, I guess.
Keep your expectations.
It was a
Keep your expectations low enough. And
it was a C, but I was expecting a D, so I gave it a plus. It was better than I thought it was gonna be. Hey,
That's a bell curve right there.
it really is. All right, man. We'll see you. We'll see you guys on Sunday for the audio version of the MonsterCast, which you can catch on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor, among other various podcasts, fucking apps and shit. I don't even know all of them. There's like 8 or 9, dude. But those are the main ones. And we'll see you guys on Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream of Royal Rumble and the aftermath.